Tomorrow night is Chanuka, so I'd like to discuss some of the halachas pertaining to halachas nevis. Some of them most of you are familiar with. It's always good to have a chazara on the halachas. So I'll start with the famous Gemara in Shabbos stuff. Chafal from his base. Gemara says, Tanu Rabbanon, Ner Chanuka mitzvah la'nicha Pesach beisoi v'vachutz. Ner Chanuka, the mitzvah is to put it by your door of the house, v'chutz, on the outside. On the outside of the front door is where you light Ner Chanuka. This way, all the passerbys will see the Ner Chanuka outside. Now, what's called the outside door? So in our houses, single houses is not really a question, because basically I have one door which leads to the outside. So the mitzvah should be Ner Chanuka mitzvah al Pesach beitzin v'chutz. According to this Gemara, we'll see why we don't do it. Why it's not a common practice, but according to the Gemara, you put it outside your front door is where you light the Chanuka menorah.
So if you would have outside, really like, what do you call it, glass thing, you should light it there.
Yeah, those people that have the glass thing in front of their doorways,
enclosure.
The best thing, glass enclosure, you should light outside your front door, inside the glass.
I know what some he does two things. He does it there and he does it inside also.
Mm-hmm. Does it inside also. So,
I saw a breast of
interesting, I was once by a shir of a chashuv paisik, and someone asked them this question. Now, some people that have a suffix where to light in their Chanukah, they light in 2 places, 3 places. So he says, is that the right thing? And he says that the shaila in the poskim all the years was, this was his lashon, where do I light it? Not where do I light them? I mean, you light one Ner Chanuka, you light one menorah. Where are you going to light it? Okay, figure out where you light it. But light in a few different places.
Why is it wrong?
It's not wrong. The Gemara said with chashad that maybe there's a reason why it's light 2 different, but that's the only reason why. Otherwise, you figure out where you should light. You figure out the best place to light. And we'll try to discuss it today, where the best place to light is.
What about if
you light in a few different places because you're not sure where to light?
No, some people, I think the Baruch shows that you do it inside because it's for the family.
Okay, we'll get to that. So that's what we're going to discuss today.
On the other hand, it's for
that's what we're going to discuss today. The Lashon Gemara is
they have mitzvah tanks for the outside.
But no, why can't it be that you have 10 members in your family and they all light?
Yeah, that's something else.
Do a different
that's something else. So if 10 members in the house and they each one lights with a bracha in a different place, okay, that's something else.
You make the mitzvah everywhere.
Yeah, that's something else.
They have to be spread about, otherwise it can be confusing to people.
Yeah, so today, halacha says you shouldn't light all together in one place.
Right.
But today it's not confusing. That we're talking about when it didn't have menorahs. It didn't have a menorah. Today, anybody from the outside sees a menorah and sees it on two candles here and 2 candles by the next menorah. No one gets confused how many candles are lit. Well, that's really, really on top of each other. Like one behind the next, whatever. But if you set them up one next to each other, there's no confusion really how many you're lighting. So the ikar din is you light the Ner Chanuka Pesach beitzin v'chutz on the outside. Says the Gemara, if I door ba'aliyah, someone lives on the 2nd floor, so he can't light. He doesn't have a door to the outside. So where does he light? Menicha b'chaloyin hasmucha l'rishus harabim. You put it by the window which faces the rishus harabim, and then you yotze. Why? Because you have to light in a place where people outside see it. The people outside don't see it. The ikar mitzvah was that the people who are passing by should see it. Says the Gemara, b'shas hasakana manicha al shulchanai v'dayoy. There was a time in history before the times of the Gemara, obviously, that there was a sakana, and Rashi says sakana was in the times of the holidays of the goyim. They saw a candle lit in the house, it would be in big trouble. So therefore, you menicha al shulchanai v'dayoy. You light inside on your table, your dining room table. The pirsam anes now will only be for your bnei habayis. Menicha al shulchanai v'dayoy. I will say menicha al shulchanai v'dayoy doesn't mean that you just light it in your house by yourself and no one sees it. That's not good enough. So the din pesuminissa, the din pesuminissa which has the sakana was for the bnei habayis, the people in your house. Before the sakana, the ikar pesuminissa was outside, passerby should see it. When there was a sakana, they said now light inside in your house b'fnei sakana. for your bnei abayis. So that's the halacha. So if you open up a Shulchan Aruch, the Shulchan Aruch passes the same thing. Mitzvah l'nichei b'tefach hasamach l'pesach mismoil kadesh they mezuzah miyamin. So here the Gemara speaks out later on. Where do you put it? So you put it on the opposite side of the doorway of the mezuzah. You should have the mezuzah on the right side, the neiros chanukah on the left side. That you're surrounded by mitzvahs. So mitzvah l'nichei b'tefach hasamach l'pesach mismoil kadesh they mezuzah miyamin. Ben Chanukah mismoil, from ein mezuzah v'pesach menichai miyamin. Hagar, miyu b'zman hazeh shekulon madlikin b'fnim. Says the Ramah. Today days, where everybody lights inside, v'ein hekel b'nei shus rabim klal, and no b'nei shus rabim see it anyway. Everyone lights inside. Ein lachish kol kach im ein madlikin b'tefach hasamach l'pesach.
Why would they see it? You light it by your window?
No. We're talking about Mishas Sakana. You light it inside.
Oh, I thought you said that.
He says, "Mi b'zman." I mean, that's not Ramah. But mi b'zman hazeh, shekulanu madlikin b'fnim. B'fnim means inside in your dining room table, not by the window. Kulanu, we all light b'fnim. B'fnim means inside in your dining room table. Your shades are closed.
Oh, I thought you said your house b'fnim means.
No, b'fnim means inside in your dining room table where the curtains are closed and no one else sees it.
You know what that's what it means.
That's what the Ramah says. V'ein hekel l'bnei shus rabim klal.
Okay.
And outside, no one sees it.
How do you get dining room table?
Doesn't say table.
Anywhere inside.
No, he means
Because it says across from the
Yeah, okay. Not after that. Inside means anywhere inside. The Lashon Gemara is Meniach HaShulchan Levedayah. You put it on your table. But we'll see soon that even those who light inside should light by a doorway to have the mezuzah and on one side and the chanukah on the other side.
And not by the window.
We'll get to that. We'll get to everything. So the reason why he had to light with tefach hasamach l'pesach, or tefach next to the doorway, was because people should know that it's your chanukah from your house and you're doing it for Pesach Nisa. Today it says the Ramah that you're lighting it inside in your house. There's no din of tefach hasamach l'pesach. You can light it by any doorway. It doesn't have to be within a tefach of a doorway, as long as it's somewhere across from the mezuzah. So now the question is, the Ramah says, what does that mean? Today that we all light inside. What does it mean? Today we all light inside.
No.
The Gemara says, B'shas sakana, you light inside. That's all the Gemara says. Did things change afterwards? After the sakana passed, what happened? Did they reinstitute the old mitzvah to light outside? Or no? It stays inside. What happened? If you read the Gemara says, it's enough, you light inside. What does that mean? It's a big machlokes in the place. Does that mean that we're oike the original takana, and now you light it inside, you don't have to light outside at all? The main thing is for bnei abayis? Or no? Only because of the sakana, they said, when there's a sakana, light inside. But now that there's no sakana, and you can light outside, you will go back to the original thing, and you have to light outside. And there's two big differences how you learn. If you learn, we go back to the original way, so every person should have to light outside, or at least by the window, for the bnei Rishus Rabim to see. If you hold that it's the Oiket Takana and stays b'fnim, so you can light b'fnim. Another big nafkamin is what time do you light? The reason why they made the Takana to light Samach l'shkiyas achamo, or say whatever the ikad din zman adlaka is, because people are walking back and forth and they see it. But if now there's no din to light for the people outside, the din is to light for bnei Rishus Rabim, for the people inside the house.
So anytime
is good.
As long as they're not sleeping.
Anytime would be good.
Reason one mitzvah, no?
What means reason? It's better to do it earlier, you mean? Okay. It means better to do it earlier. That's reason, but there's no ikad din to light it.
Table where everyone is around. You do it on the supper table. Right?
There's no ikad din to light it earlier. So the Lashon Haramah over there is also the same thing.
You're allowed to eat before candles?
You're not supposed to eat before you light candles. Yeah.
It encourages.
And you probably can't do work either.
Can't do work either.
Unless
So it says in the Lashon, Emad Likin Echad HaKodesh Teshkachama El Imsef Shkiyasa Le'im Achav Le'im Magdimim. The Ramah says, after all the halachas of the time to light, Haga, Yesh Oimrim, Shebizman Hazeh Shemadlika Bifnim. Today they would light Bifnim again. Same Ramah. He always says that the minute today is with light inside. Einay Tzarech Lizar Lahat L'Kaidesh Tichl Regel Menashuk. You don't have to be careful to light by Tichl Regel Menashuk, because anyway I'm lighting inside my house, and the Bnei Bayis are there the whole night. Says the Ramah, Toiv L'Zohar, also today's days, also even though you're lighting inside, you just try to be careful to light at the beginning of the Zman, which is Teitzuk Echavim or Sefer Shkia, whatever that time is. So you have two Ramahs that he goes to Shetasa. He says that today they will light B'fnim. First of all, you don't have to light outside, people don't have to see it, and second of all, the Zman Hadlaka also will change. So here's a big machlokes. What does this mean? Does the Ramah mean that today Bizman Hazeh, when there still is a sakana, and therefore lighting B'fnim, or Bizman Hazeh that today, even though there is no sakana, we light inside? So there's a Magen Avram. The Magen Avram says, "Venerally, it's talking about even Mishas Sakana. Venerally, the Miesh Leichaloin Asamach L'Shus Rabim. If you have a window," says the Magen Avram, if you have a window with the Samach L'Shus Rabim, Yanichenu B'Chaloin, put it by the window. You can put it by the window. The Magen Avram is after the Ramah, saying if you have a window close to the Shus Rabim, put it by the window. The Bezeh like a Chashash Sakana, because if you put it by the window, there's no sakana. The sakana was only when you put it outside. There was sakana. The guy would come, they would steal it, they would make trouble. If you leave it in your house by the window, there's no sakana. Says the Magen Avram, Yanichenu b'chaloim de bezeh leke chashash sakana. There's no sakana. So the Magen Avram is clearly learning that the whole din of the Ramah, the light b'fnim, b'shatz, we quote the sakana. It doesn't mean even when there is no sakana, you light b'fnim. What it means is, where there is a sakana, we continue lighting b'fnim. But if there's no sakana, you have to light b'chutz, or by the window. That's the Magen Avram. Very interestingly, there's a Yad Ephraim over here. The Yad Ephraim, on the Magen Avram says, there's a Toys Hatfus in the Magen Avram. There's a mistake in the Magen Avram. The way we read the Magen Avram is saying, Yanchenu b'chaloin, de bezeh leke chashash sakana. By lighting it in the window, there is no chashash sakana. Says the Yad Ephraim, the word dib bezeh is a mistake. There should have been two lines on top of the Zayin and the Hey on top. It's a Rosh Tevis. Dib bezeh should have been dib bizman hazeh. Right. That's what it should be. And what does that mean? So now if you read it that way, the Magen Avram is saying, "V'nirli de'yesh lechaloi asamach l'shus rabim yanchenu b'chaloin." Why? The bizman hazeh leke chashash sakana. Today there is no sakana, and the Magen Avram is saying, when there's no sakana, what do? You light it by the window. You don't have to light it outside in the Shus Rabbit. Light it by the window. So there's a big different title in the Magen Avram. If you learn the Magen Avram, the bizeh leke chashash sakana, because by the window there's no chashash sakana. That would mean if you can light it outside and there's no chashash sakana, but lighting it outside, it's better. Light it outside. If you learn like the Yad Ephraim, the Bizman Hazeh, when there is no Chashash Sakana, still the most you have to do is to light it by the window. So today, there will be no din to light it outside in front of your door. By the window, you're fine. That's the machlekes over here. So the Ma'aseh in Chutz La'aretz, very rare you'll find somebody lighting outside in his front door. You see people lighting by the window. The most outside in front of the house, you might not see anybody lighting, and it's a straw.
You do outside, no?
And it's a straw to light outside. It's a straw to light outside by the chutzir, outside in the front door, and that was the minhag. Agrolei say that's why it became so popular in Eretz Yisrael. This minhag. Rabbi Yashiv was very, very strong. That you have to light outside by the front door, because he held that the only reason why we lit inside was if they had sakana. Now there's no sakana, there's a chiv to light outside the front door, and if not, he held you're not yetzer. It goes back to the original takana. you have to light outside by your front door. If you're lighting inside by your window, Rabbi Yashiv did not even yet to the mitzvah. He was a very strong shita Rabbi Yashiv had.
In there, Israel, maybe.
No, anywhere. He held anywhere.
No, I just want to tell you something. When we light in my house, sometimes if you even open the front door, the wind comes.
Yeah.
So
you can't light outside because
There's a special glass. These guys is a glass box. You have to get it.
My son lights outside. I light in the front window. He lights outside.
Outside, the windows are blowing out.
He has a box.
There's a box.
Glass box, right? Yeah, that's what they have. I've seen it.
So here they don't. Most people don't have the glass boxes, and therefore, So according to Rabbi Yashiv, the main din is to light outside the front door. In Chutz La'aretz, people don't do it, but in Israel, a lot of people, most people do it light outside the front door. Yeah, and that's why I have other issues, because you run into problems because most people live in apartment buildings. Most people don't have a separate, a private entrance. So you light downstairs by the door. It's not your rishus. So it is a big question of what's called your rishus still. Is that called your rishus or not? We're not going to get into that question because it's not really negated to us because no one's lighting outside anyway. And a person lives in an apartment building is not going to light downstairs by the entrance anyway. So the Ma'aseh the Minigin Chutz La'aretz is, which probably comes from the Yad Ephraim, it's Girsa in the Morgan Avram, the Bizman Hazeh that today there's no Chash Sakana, you light by the window. You light by the window, so today that's the Minigin, most of Chutz La'aretz to light by the window. Now, there's another Minig, which was Mekubal a lot by the Hasidim, they light inside. They don't worry about outside Bechlal. They don't worry about the Rishus Rabbim. They light inside, and they'll always look for a doorway in the house to light the mezuzah in the doorway. And the reason for that is if you hold that the main mitzvah today is b'fnim, right? So you could light by your front window if you want, because the bnei abayis still see it. You can't lose off it. But if the main mitzvah is b'fnim, I have something else. Mesuva b'mitzvahs. You want to be surrounded by mitzvahs. So I'd rather light by a place where I'm surrounded by mitzvahs than light by the front window, because if you hold that the main mitzvah today is b'fnim, so I gain nothing by lighting by the window. So by Chassidim, the main thing is to light by a doorway across from a mezuzah. A lot of people have the minute to light inside. Some people try to be yaitza all the shittas, and they light by a doorway next to a window that you can see outside, which is very good. Which is very good. But if you're going to be like the Chassidim light inside, or like those shittas light inside, you have to make sure you light in a place where it's a pirsam and that's for the bnei abayis.
People are walking by.
If you're going to find a corner in the house where no one passes, and you're going to light over there, and no one sees it, you light and you leave it, then you lose the pursuit for the bnei abayis. The main thing is that for the first half hour, people see it. So you light in a place where people see it. But if you light in a corner of the house where no one sees it, you're not according to any shittas. So if you're going to go with the shit, you light for them inside the house. That's the main thing. You find the doorway, you light across from the mezuzah, you light inside. If you want to light like the other shittas, that the ikir is the outside, the rechutz, then you light by the window. And the other nafkamina would be is what time do you light? If you're going to go still that the main thing is for the bnei Rishus Rabbim to see, then you have to light by the zman. At least try to light by the zman. If the main thing is for bnei abayis, then the Ramah says toiv l'hachmir. It's going to be machmir to light at that time. But mikra din you can light whenever you want. You light later.
Would you know what time is gone today? These days, it's 4:35. Does anyone know this?
The exact amount of the Shiloh. Yeah. Because let's talk about in Canada here. Shkia is around 4:40ish. Okay. So the question is if you should light by Shkia or by Tzeis. So the Bekuba the Gizman, if you want to light by the Zman is it's like 5:15. No, 4:45 maybe too early. 4:45 maybe too early because like some shittas it's before the Zman.
Depends how much oil you have also.
No, even if you light early and it lasts for 3 hours, doesn't make a difference.
Because you miss the chance of the bracha.
Yeah, the Ikar Zman is, the Tchil Zman is, it says V'lem Achar V'lem Akdimim. If you hold the Tzeisach Achavim to light, so then you won't light till Tzeisach Achavim. Tzeisach Achavim, according to some shit, is not until 72 minutes after Shkia. Which if Shkia is 4:40, till 6:40, till 5:45 or 5:50, you're not the Zman to light yet. It's not the Zman to light till 5:50. If you hold it Tzeisach Achavim, and you hold the later Tzeisach Achavim. But you can't say, listen, I hold Chanuka on the later Tzeisach Achavim, so before close to 6 there's no Zman to light. And then it comes Shabbos Chanuka, you drive your car home by the earliest Tzeisach Achavim, then you can't do. They can't do it. But Teisach Chavim, everyone's masking. So if you hold the early Teisach Chavim all year round, which will be around 5:15, 5:10, or 5:20, whatever it is.
So if you do 5:15, you're safe?
If you do 5:15, you're safe. If you do 5:15, you're safe.
Can't do it at 5 o'clock?
You can do it at 5 o'clock, yeah. You can do it at 5 o'clock. Especially if you hold like they're going to Teisach Chavim.
Well, you can have a problem with Shabbos. Because you can come to an early mincha, go home, and then you've got to watch your Zman when you're light, because you've got to come back from Mariv.
Yeah, no, so Shabbos, I mean, Erev Shabbos.
Erev Shabbos.
No, so Erev Shabbos is different. Erev Shabbos, what happened was, the Ma'aser you can't lie in this man anyway, because it's Shabbos.
Right.
So they were Oiker this man. So the question is different Shaila. The question is, what's the Oiker this man? They say lie as close as possible to this man? Or now, what's Oiker this man? You can lie whenever you want. So like, not before Plag. Before Plag, you sure can't. Right. But you have to make sure you lie as close as possible to this man. Some of the days to lie as close as possible because you want to make sure you have enough oil has to burn till half hour after the regular Zman. That you have to have. So if the Zman, let's say it's 5 o'clock or 5:10, you like Shabbos at 4:15, Erev Shabbos, you're going to have to make sure that it could burn till almost close to 6 o'clock.
But, yeah.
2 hours of oil.
Because Shabbos, Lichtenstein for Shabbos this week is going to be like 4:25 or something.
Yeah, earlier, 4:20ish. 4:20. So if you can light,
you have to light Chanuka.
You can light Chanuka before that, 4:15, 4:10. Right. You can light 4:10. Give yourself some time. You have to make sure there's enough oil. And the problem is not the oil. These days, you can put enough oil in. Yeah. The problem is make sure the wicks are going to last.
Right.
Because the wicks are the falling especially, they fall in.
The best way of doing it is soaking it the night before.
Yeah, you got to make sure that the wicks are going to last.
The pre-bus.
That's the best thing. But if you can't afford that, you have to soak it the night before.
If you hold that the main consideration is you're doing it for your family, and you know your family's not going to be home until let's say 9:30, are you better off to like say or
no? If you hold that the main mitzvah is for b'nei bias, and you're lighting inside. So first, if you're lighting inside the Maisa, not by the window, then for sure you have to wait for your family to come out. If you're home alone, the family's not coming for another 2-3 hours, and you're lighting inside, you can't light yet. You gotta wait for your family to come home and then light. If you light by the window outside, so b'nei should have see, then you're okay. Otherwise, you gotta wait for the family to come back.
So if your wicks don't last on the Erev Shabbos, you're still high up the mitzvah, right? It's just like they say.
No,
with
it
the
depends.
wind.
No, it depends. If it's possible for it to light and it should light, then you to the mitzvah.
Right.
But if it's the wicks that you know that aren't going to last, then which happens a lot, then
it's like not having enough oil.
Yeah, it's like not having enough oil. Yeah. If it should last, normally it lasts, and it went out, you have to the mitzvah. Chavsayin Zakakla goes out, you to the mitzvah.
Assuming you live on a low floor in the apartment building, so now you will be Yotzei Persuminez.
Right.
Or lighting in your hallway, which one is it?
What do you mean the hallway? To
the apartment.
Across from the mezuzah.
Yeah, it's at the doorway, which is
into the hallway.
Yes, or the window.
And the window so around.
Yeah, and you're on the lower floor. You're not up on the third, where people can actually
see it.
Yeah,
you're probably better off lying by the window. Yeah, to Shosarabim. Yeah. Rabbi Yasha would have probably held.
Yeah.
You better off lying by the doorway to the hallway.
Back and walk.
To the hallway. Yeah. If that's called a Shosar, how many people are walking through the hallways?
Yeah, but what if you're in the end of the corridor and nobody's walking?
Yeah, if you're at the end of the corridor, no one walks there, then
it's the same as putting in the corner of the house.
But you do have the mitzvah of the mezuzah, and the mitzvah is there, but you don't.
Yeah, but you don't have the Pesum Nissa.
Yeah.
Nobody's walking.
No, but it's worse because if you do it outside, and you don't even have the Pesum Nissa for the B'nai bias.
No, the people are home. The people are home.
Yeah, but it's outside the door. The door's closed.
No, not outside the door. I'm sitting by the door.
The door's open or the door's closed?
The door open. I know some people.
You keep it open for a half hour.
Yeah, so nice.
Okay, if you keep the door open and it's a person for the B'nai bias also.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're okay. I also say that by the window.
I say by the window.
I'll say by the window. Yeah.
What happens in Israel when it's outside? The door stays open so you can see it, or it has to be somewhere you can see it from the house?
No, because you have the person for the B'nai.
So you're not concerned about seeing it from the house,
right? Because you're doing the person for the people outside. Yeah, but if you're doing inside the building and people don't pass this, there's no person in that. People for anybody. Let's leave it door open that people in the house could see it. But it has to be people in the house could see it.
Yeah.
If you light by the door, a lot of apartments you walk in and straight is like a wall, then you have to make a right, and then you go to the kitchen, and no one can see it from inside. There's no person, and that's for B'nai Bias.
No, I know people light inside and keep the door open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You could do. They could do that. If you light inside and the people in the house could see it.
Yeah.
And the people outside. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
The question is if it would be better to light it inside by a doorway.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you say that the Bnei Bayis could see it from that doorway, then you're okay. Then it's fine.
You have 2 ways.
So you have to make sure that when you light it, either you have the minig that you light it b'fnim for the Bnei Bayis, and then you'll do it by a doorway. If you could do it by a door that you could see it outside, it's even better. But if you worry about the Bnei Shus Rabim, you light it by a window, and the Bnei Shus Rabim can see it. That's the best thing. There's one malacha I want to speak about, which I find is a common mistake. There's something called that if you allow to be madlik, miner l'ner. If you allow to light from one candle to the next candle. Now what happens is you light the Chanuka menorah, right? So you have a shamash. Usually you light a candle, a different candle, and you light all the other candles with it. Now, what happens if the candle you're lighting with goes out in the middle? It goes out, you lit 3 candles, let's say it's the 7th night, you lit 3, and the candle you're lighting with goes out. So you don't want to go strike another match. Easier, go to the menorah, relight on one of the candles, and continue lighting. Much easier that way.
You're allowed to do that on Shabbos.
So we'll see.
You're allowed to do that on Shabbos.
That's a pasha. We'll see.
How do you do it on Shabbos?
We'll see. If you light, save the Shabbos candles.
The wife.
Or Shabbos candles.
Yeah, Shabbos candles. Before making a bracha.
No, so we'll see.
The implication then of Ein Alushus Lichtenstein by Belarus and Bilbao, you take Ein Alushus Lichtenstein, that just means outside the scope of the Hanukkah light.
Correct.
If it's within inside the scope.
Correct. Right. That'll be the difference. You're not allowed to use it in Hanukkah for anything else. That's chal. That means if you have Ner Chanukah, you want to light a cigarette from the Ner Chanukah, you're not allowed to. You want to light a candle for anything else, you're not allowed to. For sure not. Right, for sure you can't do. Here it's different. The shalos could you be madlik miner l'ner. That's the Gemara shaila. So now, madlik miner l'ner means, let's say you light a candle menorah, not oil menorah. And you have 6 candles lit, right? You light the first one, and then this is one of your candles. It's not the shamish. It's one of the 6 candles. That's called madlikim miner l'ner, to light from one ner to the next ner.
That's okay. And
that's what the Gemara says. The Gemara, we come out madlikim miner l'ner. You're allowed to light from one ner to the next ner. Or if you have oil, let's say, and you can somehow or another get the wick out and schlep it over to the one next to it, madlikim miner l'ner. The halacha is Simatofar Shayin Dalet madlikim ner Chanukah miner Chanukah. You're allowed to light miner l'ner.
Of the candle to the shamas.
Oh. So when you're allowed to light.
What do you need a shamash for?
Because the reason shamash is that madlikin. The reason why we have a shamash is because you shouldn't use the oil. You shouldn't use the banana from the fire for the light. The reason why we have a shamash.
You can light near the nair.
Yeah, if
you're using the candle for the purpose of the.
Yeah, then you can do it. If you light a candle, it's easy. Oil is very hard to do with oil. If you're lighting a candle menorah and you have 6 candles. You can light the first one, be madlik miner l'ner. You can use that to light all the other 5 and put that one down. We'll see in a second why you should do that.
You don't need a shamash in that situation.
And then you don't need a shamash. Then you wouldn't need a shamash. The shamash, what you need a shamash for is because to banana from the oil. If you want to use the candles for the light, you have the shamash to show that you can't use a light to read by it. Today that we have electricity, anybody we don't use it, it could be there's not such a need for a shamash. But we'll see for other reasons why you need a shamash. So madlikim miner l'ner. Now v'dafka lahadlik mizel l'zeh, to light from one candle directly to the next candle. That's not called b'mishtamish for davar chol. I'm using it for dvar mitzvah. Beloy emtzoi, without a middle candle. But if I have an emtzoi, I have a shamash that I'm using to light the candles. The shamash goes out. I want to light the shamash from one of the other candles. That you can't do. You can't relight your shamash, even though I'm using it to light other candles. Now, to light the shamash by itself from one of the other candles, that you for sure can't do. Because it's not the mitzvah. We're talking about for the mitzvah, it's not called using it for something else. Still, you shouldn't do it. To light with the shamash, to relight the shamash from one of the other neighbors, that you can't do also. Some people say it's mutter. Why? Because why am I lighting the shamish? In order to light the other ones. That's also called I'm using it for a mitzvah. Also called I'm using it for a mitzvah.
Let's see, you want to light the shamash, so you can put it inside the menorah. So.
For sure not. If you want to light the shamash only to put it in the menorah, everyone agrees you cannot light the shamash from the rest of the candles.
So that would be the last candle, and the shamash went out.
Right. If you lit all the candles, the shamash went out, and then you want to light the shamash by itself to put it back in the menorah, you cannot light it from the rest of the candles. Everyone agrees to that. That everyone agrees to. That everyone agrees to. And if you're cautious that the shamash is going to go out before you light the other candle, also you can't do it. The only way is it's sad that you're allowed to light the shamash from the other candles is if you can end up lighting other ner shal mitzvah.
You're lighting 3 from 4.
Right, 3 to 4, and use the shamash to light from 3 to 4. There, it could be, you could do it. V'noad v'lahachmer. V'neir's chanukah, shaloy lahadlik, afilu mineir l'ner. Says the Ramah. Ner Chanukah will machmir, not to even light mineir l'ner without an emsoy. If you have 6 candles, right? And you light one candle, you make a bracha, and this is the candle you're lighting with, and then you want to use that candle to light the other 5, so you can't do that. Why not? The ikar mitzvah eine el ner echad. The ikar mitzvah of ner Chanukah is 1 ner. So it comes out like this: you take a match, and you make the bracha. Now you have to make the bracha obviously before you light the first candle. You take a match, and you make the bracha, and you light the first candle, and then you want to use that candle to light the other 5 candles. Says the Gemara, we don't do that. Even though I'm doing it ner to ner. Why? Because when you lit the first ner, you get to the mitzvah. The other 5 are mahadrin. You can't do that. You can't go light from the ikar ner to the other ones. So now you have to be very careful not to light from one candle to the next. Ner Shabbos, like they were saying before, you have Ner Shabbos, right? So you light the match, you light one candle, and you use that candle to light the other candles. That's fine. That's called Madlikim and Ner Ner. One is a Ner Shabbos. The first, let's say you have 5 Ner Shabbos, right? You light the first candle, and you use that to light the other 4. That's fine, because they're all Shava b'Shava. Ner Chanukah, we don't do that.
If you light a candle and it goes out, you have to relight it, or you don't have to?
What by you don't have to relight. We do relight, but you don't have to relight. Kofsa ain't talking about.
What about the second light that you light? The first one is the second one.
So if you want to go from the second one to the third one, then you could do, because they're all Shava b'Shava. Okay. But from the first to the second, you can't. First to the second, you can't.
If the first candle is only for Eid Mitzvah, if that's the one which is for Eid Mitzvah, how is it divided into a discussion in Gemara Shabbos about how many candles you're supposed to light each night, where you're supposed to go down, where you're supposed to go up? So it seems that this one candle is not really an established rule. It sounds like... Sorry?
No, the one candle is the main mitzvah.
First candle.
Main mitzvah. One candle. The rest, if you go up or down, is the extra candles, more than one. Okay. One is the ikar mitzvah. The question is, do you light 8 the first night, then with 7 extras of 1 ikar, or do you light 8 the last night? But the one candle lighting, everyone's masking, that's the ikar mitzvah. That's the main mitzvah.
You mentioned it's important also when you set up the candles.
Yeah.
The oil, it's important to set up the new one first.
Okay, so that's
day number 3. You should don't.
Okay, so that's not everyone agrees. Maybe set it up first. What do you mean set it up first?
Set it up. That was when you put the candles in the menorah. You should put, if it's day number 4, you should put the 4th one first.
Why?
Because that's the new one. That's why I read somewhere.
Okay, that could be. Okay, when you're setting up the menorah,
you should set it up first.
We set it up. Yeah. You set the same way that you like it.
Light the new one first.
No, when you're setting up the menorah, when you set up the menorah, you're setting up. Let's say it's the 3rd night, the 4th night. They have 4 candles. So the one we start from all the way on the left, right? The new one, and then we go to the right. That's our minute. So that means the one all the way on the left is a new one. So when you're setting it up, the truth is it doesn't make a difference. It could be if you want. It's a nice thing to set up the 4th one first, because it's a new one. It's the chiv of mitzvah. It's ikar mitzvah. But there's another issue. There's another issue that some places can say. Not everyone agrees to this. That when you have 4 candles now, right? So now you light the 3rd night you lit 3 candles, and what happens is the wick doesn't burn down all the way. Not floating wicks. Let's say you have a long wick, you put it in, and then every night you pull it up a little more until it burns down. Then you switch it. So that one that you're pulling up every night, right? So I lit the first night 1 candle. The second night I put one next to it with a fresh wick. And what's the old one?
Old wick.
The old wick, and I'm pulling it up. what happens is that first one that's on the menorah, the second night was, first night was the main one, and the second night it's not the main one. That first one, you just brought it down a level. The first night, that candle that you lit was the Iker mitzvah. The second night, what is it? It's only the Hidden mitzvah. So it's Nachschlepper, right? So it's Meriden. You bring it down from Iker mitzvah to only Hidden mitzvah. So that person hold, you take that glass, move it over to number 2. So maybe that's where you get it from. That you should fix the. You should take that one, move it over, and then you could pull up the wick if you want. But that one should always be the main one.
What happens if the throwaway one?
What? Is that halacha or is that just advice?
No, some people say it's halacha. Some people halacha might say malam mekadosh v'emeridin. You'll have to move it over. Not everyone agrees to that.
What about if you throw it away? The throwaway ones.
When we throw it away? You're right.
So it becomes a new one. Everything becomes a new one.
If you don't reuse them, it's not a question. Anyway, you're not reusing them. But if you're reusing, you're not putting a fresh one, you're reusing the same wick, you should move it over. You want to know if it's halacha? Some people say it's halacha, and if not everyone holds that way.
You said don't even the same wick. You move the container over, you want to switch the wick up, you switch the oil.
No, so they don't say it on the oil. I don't know why.
So the cup is not
the cup.
The wick.
The wick. They don't say it on the oil.
So couldn't I, instead of putting the wick around, can't you also just change it?
You can change it, yeah.
So then it's brand new. Then it's no problem.
It's brand new, it's not a problem. But if you're using the same wick that you used last night, and tonight it's only Hidden mitzvah, and last night was the Iker mitzvah, some people say it's called Meriden. You bring it down from Iker mitzvah to only Hidden mitzvah.
So, which candle on the third night is the actual mitzvah candle?
All the way to the left, the new candle. You start off one.
So why wouldn't you want it to be a candle with a new wick?
It could be. You can have a new wick, but the second one, which has the old wick, went down in kedusha. That wick last night was the main mitzvah, and tonight you're putting it on over here the mitzvah.
But it's a long wick. You're not going to throw the wick out every time. So one always becomes number one.
No, that candle last night, that wick last night was Iker mitzvah.
But I'm saying now, okay, right.
So it's an offense to that candle.
Offense to that wick. Yeah.
Okay. So to summarize, is the setup from new to old and the lighting from new to old, or
yes, the lighting is the setup is one. You add, then you go from left to right. Always the left one is the new one.
But is that true? So when you set up, do you set up from the first night and add?
You set up,
But you set up in opposite direction to how you light?
No, you can set up from the way you light.
And then on the third night, which candle? Don't you start from the
left? Yeah, to the right. Yeah, to the left, to the right. I just want to say one thing. I have to stick it out. I saw. I once heard a very interesting Maritzchias. Today, a lot of people have a minute to light b'fnim. A lot of people light inside. And then I'm not going to light by the window, the light inside. If they get a window, it's fine. And he says, this is an Achrein from a couple of years ago, he says, what's the reason why? And he says, because with the Iker Takada, when we made to light the Chanuka outside walls, because we won, and now we're fighting off the outside people who come and attack us, whatever the Shomim, we light by chutz. Pshas Sakana, we put it inside. Now we learn Pshas Sakana means that we're going outside, and they're going to take away the candles, whatever, they're going to punish us, we brought it inside. Maritzchiya says, B'shas Sakana, that today, the Sakana in Klal Yisrael is not from the outside. Sakana from Klal Yisrael has come from within. Sakana from within, we lie within. We lie inside. And I don't think that word is more appropriate than today's days. Today's days, the Sakana is definitely from within, not from the outside. So that's why maybe there's a lot of people are makbid to light inside.
Maybe we should light it both places.